shocks my body. Hey, what's up, everyone? As you can tell, we are not at home. We are in Florida at Adam's compound. And today's gonna be a very special video. I've talked with you guys about this a few different times in other videos, just slightly. As you can tell from the title and thumbnail of this video, Selena, my original drift car. If you guys have been watching this channel for 10 years, you'll know this car very well. And if you're new here, I once had a 350Z that I learned to drive in. We ended up doing a JZ swap, changing a bunch of stuff on it. I ended up trying to sell the car about 1.5 years ago. Well, I didn't end up selling it because I had a lot of my friends reach out and they're like, Tej, don't sell that car. It just needs a few more things and that car can be an absolute weapon. The car was never bad, it just was never really great. And that just comes from, honestly, me not having the experience, the know-how, cutting corners. We put a Samsona's gearbox in it. I had Rad Industries to do the whole entire car and it was great. But I cheaped out on a few things that ultimately didn't make the car the best when it came to driving on different track layouts. It was essentially short of a Formula D car. It had the power, it had a good gearbox, but it didn't have certain things that would allow me to alter the car to different driving styles and different track layouts. And I'm happy to say we'll go over all of it in just a second. I'm walking over to Drift HQ because they have taken in the car and rebuilt meaning adding a bunch of new things, well, I'll take you guys there in just 1 second. I'm really excited for today's video. And if you live under a rock and you don't know Adam LZ, he's one of my very, very good friends who I've known for a very long time. And he's had a very successful career in the internet space. And he has a 30-acre lot in Florida with so many different buildings. He has one of his businesses here called Drift HQ that is essentially a company that focuses just on drift cars by the name. They have a bunch of employees with a bunch of rad cars. They build cars, they compete, they sell a bunch of parts, which a lot of our parts come from them. And there's just multiple buildings on this beautiful property, and we can even drive here. So my car's been redone with them. Let's go check it out. Here she is with the two men that made this possible. I wanna give a big shout out to you guys, Chris and Cricket. Thank you so much. Now, all of the stuff we're going over right now is actually all on Drift HQ's YouTube channel. I'm gonna link it down below. They did like a multiple part in depth. I'm gonna be going over everything, but if you wanna get the full details, you can go and watch these guys go at it. They did this in like 2 weeks, which is wild to say because this would have taken, us a lot longer time, but these guys know their shit. I mean, and as you can see, they build beautiful things, and there's gonna be more on this stuff later. So I'm gonna try to stay at on the topic at hand here. So this is our 350 that I was telling you guys about, that if you haven't seen it, it's because it hasn't been on the channel in about 1.5 years. It sat here for a while, and then when I was gonna get rid of it, Adam was like, no, let us do it. Let's have Drift HQ just give it the full sauce. So in a nutshell, that JZ engine that you guys all wanted me to put in our other Supra, I didn't do that because, I didn't say this, because I was going to use the spare JZ that we had built from Rad Industries 5 years ago for Selena. There was nothing wrong with our old JZ, but we had a new engine that was built, and it had its internals, it has all the internals we need, and it even has cams that was sitting. So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to use that. So for new motor setup, we have a new JZ, we have an RTEC twin scroll manifold, and a new Garrett turbo. It's a G35 900. We just last night dynoed it. It made on 24 PSI, 710 horsepower. And Adam said the turbo feels really good. It's very efficient and very snappy. So I'm really excited to drive this today. So other than the new motor setup, there's a lot of things changed. Do you want to walk me through it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can start with the front and kind of work our way back. So originally had the oil coolers and power steering coolers like all the way in the bottom pocket of the front bumper.
Yeah, they were like down here.
And we weren't a big fan of that because you catch a cone or something wrong, or somebody debeats a tire and you smack it, then you're going to end up with a big mess and a really unhappy engine. So we relocated the oil cooler up here to try and get some of the cross flow coming through here, kind of utilize a little bit of the hood vent. Power steering cooler mounted down low. So we also swapped over to the KRC power steering setup as opposed to the stock pumps that are a little bit more problematic, as well as doing the alternator and water pump relocation here, so that we run a remote water pump without running the belt-driven water pump on it. But interior-wise on the car, we really didn't do too much. It's still...
We vacuumed it,
yeah, we
cleaned it up, made it look a little bit nicer, yeah.
You can even say, he's like, I'm not sure how sentimental he is about all the grass he's collected in here from all the tracks over the years.
I could have made a pillow out of it. But.
Now the rear is something that I'm really excited about. I love the new engine setup, the new turbo setup. That's all great. I love that. But the rear I'm
here.
super hyped on.
Yeah. So originally it had a much smaller radiator and some off-brand fans on it and stuff. So we went and upgraded with the PWR radiator and some big 16-inch or 14-inch small brushless fans in there. So this thing, even on the dyno, was not creeping over like 160 degrees. Like even when he was beating on it and doing back-to-back full.
That's one thing that I want to mention because I dealt with a lot of overheating issues on this car, and I even think the tuner who tuned it put like a fail-safe limp on the car once it got to like 225.
Yeah.
And I would hit it all the time.
Yeah.
Like this car lived at like 215.
Yeah.
And it would always overheat.
Will tell you the party starts at 225.
I know, but we.
Boys like, oh, party starts at 225.
Yeah.
Like, no, 205.
But I heard a lot of good things about PWR radiators and the fans. I keep hearing. I haven't heard them yet, but I heard they just like push like crazy.
Oh yeah, you pretty much move your car on grid with the fans. You run them full tilt, they'll go over.
So I'm really excited to see this thing struggle even just to stay warm.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
And we also upgraded the fuel cell.
Yeah, all the radium.
So main reason we had to change fuel cells because of the Bulldog we installed, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough room to actually have access to the cover bolts in there once the Bulldog was in there, so we got something slightly shorter. We also upgraded. He had a big external fuel surge tank with like Bosch 44s in it, and a bunch of external pumps and hoses and extra stuff that was also kind of in the crash corners of the car, so it was a little bit more concerned.
And it was in a really difficult spot to service. If you had to do it, you had to take everything apart, which is like definitely not ideal.
Which is also really cool about the new setup we put in here is the Radium FCSTX.
Yeah.
So normally when you have changed fuel pumps in a cell, you have to take all these perimeter bolts out and pull it out. These ones are actually serviceable. If you just take this out, you take this little handle here and you pull it out and you have access to all your pumps to be able to change whatever it is you need.
That's one of the coolest things. I was really excited on the FCST. All right, going to the underside of the car. Everything from this point forward is pretty much the same until we get to the back. Now this is something I'm really excited on. This is a Bulldog quick change. So it allows us to change the gear set so we can alter our wheel speed at different gears. Essentially what that means is if we're at a comp and I'm at the initiation point on a bank or something, if I'm going just a little bit too slow and I need to like shift into a higher gear and then I'm in a really low RPM range in a gear, essentially you can adjust the gearing so we can make second a little bit longer so you can just have the perfect driving experience while drifting. And it's something that I've never done because it's pretty expensive, and you also have to change the subframe and you have to do different axles. It's a real commitment, and this is what I normally say makes a car like FD spec, in a way of like, you can't drive FD without a quick change. That was always the one thing I held off from doing. I should have done it a long time ago, but I'm glad we're doing it here now. Completely new rear WiseFab setup. It's gonna add a ton of more grip and no need for no big spacers anymore. We used to have some like fatty spacers and stuff.
Yeah, so wider track width, also changing suspension geometry, creates more toe in under squat, less camber gain and everything. You can see even just like first look, the original traction arm here bolted to the front of the stock knuckle. Now that traction arm is brought all the way to the rear here to kind of help it create the better suspension geometry to create that mechanical grip.
I can't wait to hear this thing.
Oh yeah. She's good. She's real good.
I'm a little nervous to drive it. I'm a little nervous. Oh, it looks so sweet. Yeah, man.
Try to shake off those jitters.
I know. It's been a while since I've driven anything over like 500, so it's definitely gonna take like a second or two to get used to again.
Well, you
but
got your dial. You can turn it down to 500.
Yeah, Adam won't let me do that.
Yeah,
Adam's like, if I see you touch that knob, he's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So.
He's gonna take the knob out.
Yeah, he's literally.
On 7.
Him or Dylan. Dylan hates it. When I had this before he drove with me, he's like, stop fucking turning the power down. Drive it at 7. Or we were at like, I think last time we were at 6.
Yeah.
So this is an extra 100 more.
Yep.
So, gonna be rowdy. I'm hyped. Okay, so our startup is still the same. So kill switch, and then there should be ignition. I can hear the pumps, and then it should just be start. Whoa.
Full start sequence a lot better than
yeah, last time it was a little rough to get the thing started. Yeah.
I had to pull it from the other shop, putting it in here, and it took 20 minutes.
If it's cold out, it was a nightmare to start. I'm really, really excited, honestly, just to hear this engine setup with this Artec manifold. I love the Artec sound paired with the Garrett turbo. And we finally deleted that stupid blow-off valve that we had on it. Yeah.
We don't do those around.
Yeah, I was, again, questionable calls were made years ago, but glad to have that deleted. Dude, it sounds a little, yeah, super snappy. Yeah. Wow. And I feel a little bad because we built the motor so long ago, I don't even remember the specs of the engine, like the cam size and stuff. I believe it's a BC 272 cam, but it could be a little bit more. But you can hear the cam at idle. Can't believe it's the same car. Before we go out and drive the car, I'm gonna have Adam talk about it a little bit, because as I told you guys, the savior and the survival rate of this car is exponentially longer because Adam has saved this car like 2 or 3 times. I know that he loves it. That little smirk on his face.
Listen, I'm giving this man free storage here on a car that he never wants to drive. I'm like, TJ, come drive with us. He's like, yeah, but like, you know, this, and that. And it's in the weird area with that car where like, it doesn't really make sense for you to sell it because the car is worth more than what it commands on the market. Because there's like, it's like almost a pro spec car, but it's not. Yeah. So we basically convinced you to get all the things that make it a pro spec car. So now you can go and drive it competitively, not worry about shit breaking.
And I told Adam, I'm like, just steer the ship on what you would do, because if there's anything that I know about Adam, it's that he geeks out when it comes to the technicality, and he has a lot of information, his experience with it. So everything down to the car was pretty much like Adam and Drift HQ's like knowledge going into it. So the turbo sizing we did, we changed. I was on a 3582, I think, before.
Well, let's just put this out there too, that you actually had a Rad Dan built engine sitting on a pallet in my shop as well.
Yeah.
And your car was kind of in that weird area where you had a stock motor, and like stock 2Js are great, especially for street cars, but they're so old at this point that like, I don't really trust it. And you already had a built motor here, and stock 2Js are worth so much that you probably sold your stock. Did you sell it yet?
I don't know if someone's about to buy it, but if anyone wants it, my old setup's for sale for 9 grand.
But basically, you probably had about the same amount into the built motor as you could get for a stock motor, so it'd be dumb not to do it.
Yeah.
The setup I pushed on you is basically the same thing in my street car chaser, which is on a stock motor. So this is G35 900 on a 3-liter. I think it's the best happy medium if you're looking to make like decent power for a comp car. You make 750, maybe a little bit more, and it will be crazy responsive. So you made 712 horsepower at, what was it, 24 pounds, Freddie? Yeah. Which is like chilling. So was that 1-to-1 back pressure?
A little bit over.
Okay.
I can tell because it needed more duty cycle up top to hold 24 pounds.
Got it. So you're gonna drive it and it's gonna feel really good. So the 35 900 is actually really similar to the 3582.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the newer G series version of 3582, but it actually spools a little bit faster because they made a compressor kind of big on the 3582. It's more similar to like anyone, I don't want to get too nerdy, but like it's more similar to a Gen 1 3582.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good combo.
Okay.
Good happy combo.
Yeah, I don't...
If you needed to make like 900 horsepower, we do a 1050, but then you'd trade off a little lag. So just to show you, this is your low boost, mid boost, high boost setting.
Yeah.
But as I told you, you're never gonna drive in the lower boost settings.
I think I said that on camera. Adam will never let me go lower.
You'll understand. You'll learn how to just add more grip instead of take power away.
Yeah. For the last like couple years, I've really like gotten a lot better driving on a lot lower horsepower cars. So now I'm not like scared to get back in my car, but I'm like, damn, like I don't even like remember what it's gonna feel like. I remember when I used to drive this car at like 6, I was like, it feels like a handful. But at the same time, there were a lot of other things with the car that like weren't where they needed to be, if that makes sense. Going in today, I'm expecting it to feel, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna be difficult to drive or anything like that. I'm just very excited just to feel what it's like to light up the tires like right when you want them to.
And just to be fair too, we're not like gonna be testing today on the grippiest of tires. I think my favorite thing is like literally we just hook your car up until it feels like you're driving your slow car.
Yeah.
But just everything happens way faster.
Yeah.
That's the jam.
I'm excited. And I'm stoked that we kind of got to show this as well, because I think talking about the push for a little bit more power plays into a lot of like certain things that are going to advance the car a little bit more. And Adam was saying too that on the higher boost setting at 24 PSI, the car is going to feel a little like it's going to be snappier. Is it going to be as laggy? Because in the past, I would actually turn boost down. If I was like, oh, I'm going against a slower car, I'm going to turn the boost down, which you were saying can actually fight itself and make the car drive kind of worse.
Turbos have an efficiency range, so if you turn the boost down too low, they actually, like if you're running half boost, it's not like you're necessarily making the turbo half happy. It might be like really unhappy. Yeah. They actually get happier sometimes when you make more boost. So this is a super fat power band. Like this is kind of ridiculous. There's probably a cop in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a narc in here. Where's Tommy?
But this is a really big power band. Just for sake of comparison, if you look over on this one, this is what it would look like if you moved up to a G35 1050. So this is like the next step up.
Oh.
You trade some of this mid-range. This is what I used to have on my E36 when I had a 3-liter with the bigger turbo.
That's cool. That's
and
cool
then,
to see.
if you wanted to see what it would look like if you had a 3.4, this is what it would look like with a 3.4.
Holy shit.
So
wow,
it kind of follows the same curve here. So like out of boost, a G35 900 feels like a 3.4 with a G35 1050, which is my favorite combo in the world.
Yeah.
So when we, for your next car, when you're ready to go 3.4, this is what we're gonna do for you.
Yeah, I think I told them, or I told some people on the other channel.
I don't know who you told. You know, I'm a member of your secret little Instagram group, but I haven't seen you mentioned on there.
The Mark V is getting built here, and we're doing it like from the ground up. So the B58, the Supra, we haven't been driving it just because it's been uncooperative, let's just say that. So when Adam pitched me doing the 350, he was like, and then once we finish that, send your Supra over and we'll do that from the ground up. And essentially make it like a baby version of your E36, just like follow.
You're actually wrong. It was, you wanted to build the Supra. And I was like, well, I don't want to see you be at a disadvantage in your 370Z competing while you're waiting for the Supra to get built. So I was like, yo, TJ, we can probably make your 350Z in a matter of like 2 weeks.
You did say that, and I was like, nah.
Enough to compete. So now you have the 350Z as your like intermediary while you wait for the Supra to get built. And the Supra, we're just gonna basically take what we've proven in the E36 works and go bloop, bloop. What's up?
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
Having friends like Adam is it's quite the treat. So I'm very excited for that, which is that's gonna take a little bit longer to build because it's like the car pretty much just has a cage. Everything else has to be fabbed. And like you kind of heard us say earlier, we're gonna go a 3.4 in that setup. And I'm just like blindly writing a check and I'm saying, here you go, I'll do what you say.
Now, technically, I wish I had you drive my E36 here because it would have been like a teaser of what your Supra is gonna feel like. You could drive it, but it's got a big John on it now, so.
I'm gonna wait to see how it goes today and then I'll be like, okay, maybe. But we'll see, we'll see. Let's go drive. Let's see how she feels. I have to say it feels good to have her back. I just drove it over here. This is like a 20-second drive, 30-second drive, and it definitely feels a little bit foreign to me. And we're just gonna jump right into it and try this little layout. I'm gonna throw a GoPro in it, and I'm gonna go really easy the first couple laps just to get familiar with the car. No need to make any mistakes and ruin this beautiful Disneyland. But I'm excited, and I hope my excitement shows through the camera. We're gonna go feel it out. This is the first time I'm driving it. We'll scrub some tires, and I don't know, we'll just ease into it, baby.
You like it?
Dude, it like lights up.
All right, so we're gonna make the limiter sound spicier for you. We don't like how it sounds.
You want me to kill it?
Leave it running. We're gonna give a once over on the car with any new build, you know, once you start running it in, put some eyes on it. It looks pretty hooked up.
Dude, it's the side bite is gnarly. Like flicking it in, you just get off throttle, like nothing I felt before.
I think the wide-flap rear end helps a lot for that.
It's a big difference.
I've never driven a Z with a wide-flap rear end, so if I can maybe do a lap at some point, you might sell me.
You take it. It's just, it feels so different. Like,
really?
It doesn't feel like anything I've ever driven.
Hell yeah.
It snaps, like on throttle, it just like lights them up.
Sick.
Very, not weird, just like trying to get used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wild. Holy.
Hey, so we got a new rev limiter. Can you test it real quick?
Dude, it like shocks my body.
Hey, look, friends don't let friends have weak rev limiters. Now go do some laps, boy.
Holy shit.
You like it?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, holy, I don't have any words for that. It's so fast. It feels so good. Yeah.
Let the record hold. We just realized TJ's been driving the car on wastegate pressure, so it's only making 500 horsepower, not even the full 750.
Okay.
Dude, you're not even turned up yet.
That's wild. That's so crazy. Dude, I don't even have fucking words for that. That's like, this is what you would drive stuff like this, like that's not even the same thing.
It's pretty cool to see you hop in this car after not driving in so long and just like throw the fuck down.
Trying to like just work my way into it and just like figure out it's like side bite again. Dude, just wow.
How's the tune feel?
Holy shit.
Tune feel good?
Tune feels really good.
You got
I can't believe that's only 500.
Well, you got the GO tune in your car, so.
Wow. Dude, I feel like an idiot because I don't know what to say. It's so good. It just feels like, I'm playing a Seven Corsa and I've been playing with like just the basic cars and I just went to like, screw it, I'm gonna do an FD car and that's how it feels.
Hell
it just lights up. Feels so good. Car feels light. Doesn't feel like heavy like all the other cars I've been driving. I can feel that difference. Chassis feels stiff. The side bite is sick. I think the car sounds good. I don't know, something.
Oh, it sounds really good. But we're looking at some vlogs right now because when you're driving, the limiter doesn't sound the same as when you're stationary.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see if there's like some sort of safety thing. Your ECU is from 1985, so we're doing what we can with it.
That was savage.
the best 3-liter drift car I've driven in my life. Dude, it is so snappy.
Sounds feel good.
It's amazing.
I need more grip.
You're gonna leave it in the full power setting now, right?
Yeah, now I just want more grip.
Hell yeah.
Like when I was coming through, I almost went too deep into like the off camber and I was like, oh fuck, get back on gas. Need more grip.
Well, now you're going faster.
This is a different level of drifting. This is like, I've never breached these barriers, brother. These are some big barriers. that's where I'm gonna wrap today's video. We were driving with Adam in his S15, and then my throttle got stuck. It wasn't the wire, it was like something within the actual like ECSTI like throttle body, which is a pretty common thing. We're probably gonna fix it tonight and drive a little bit more tomorrow, but this video is already long enough, and I was driving the car pretty soft today. I just want to say a massive thank you and shout out to Drift HQ. I'm gonna put all their stuff down below, and shout out to Adam for getting all this stuff together. It's really cool to have a friend that was willing to help us out like that, and the car's back. And I hope you guys enjoy that Selena's back just as much as I do, because man, you know, it feels good having that car getting a new life. I was perfectly set on letting go of it, and the fact that it's gonna stay and is going to be with us until we get the Supra built means a lot. So we have a lot of comps to be doing with that car. You guys have been saying for the longest time, you need to bring something other than a 370, and we finally have that option. So I'm thankful, I'm stoked, and me and Adam are gonna film probably 1 or 2 more videos while I'm here, so expect some more of that stuff before we get home and get back to the 911 GT3. Thank you guys for watching. See you boys in the next episode. Peace out, and keep moving.